Hey guys, so today we will go through the batch Apex. Okay. So last time we covered the Apex trigger basics. We will also cover batch and queueable basics. Okay. And then you guys can further keep practicing your examples. Okay. So in Salesforce, so there are few things. Let me tell you why this batch class comes into the picture. Okay. So there is a two concepts in Salesforce. One is synchronous. Okay. Synchronous, and next is asynchronous. Asynchronous. Okay. In these, asynchronous is nothing but spelling code mistake. So ignore that. Okay. So this means it won't wait. Okay. It will finish. Once it is started, it has to finish. You cannot do any other operation. Okay. Once it is started, you the operate the once it is started, the transaction needs to be finished. Okay, finished, and you need to wait until it is finished. Okay, so that is synchronous. Okay, and when it comes to asynchronous, it is a background job basically. Okay, it need not to wait. Okay, user need not to wait basically. Okay, what I would say is user need not to wait to finish the operation. Finish the operation. Okay, it will run in background. So that is first difference. Okay, second difference is okay. Um, Second difference is the governor limits, guys. Okay, so governor limit is less here. Okay, in synchronous, governor limits are less. Okay, governor limits are nothing but the limits which your Salesforce has given to you to limit the use of resources. Okay, let's suppose you can create 500 fields in your object, so that is a limit. Yes. So that's a governor limit basically. So they have limited that. Else, uh, if we will keep creating the fields, then their database would get impacted. So every client has a database, okay, which they are utilizing. So in order to make that, properly sync, or you can say the proper way of utilizing the resource, they have given these kind of limits. Okay, and here the limits are double. Limits are double. Limits gets double. Gets double. Gets double of synchronous. Whatever synchronous limit has, it will get double here. Okay. So that is the second thing, second most important thing. Okay. Next is a few things like Apex class. Okay, is a synchronous example. Okay. Some examples like what exactly these are. Example, Apex trigger. Okay. Record trigger flow. So these are example of synchronous. Okay. Example for this is batch class. Batch class, queueable, schedulable, ठीक है, future method, okay. So these are example of asynchronous. Okay, so this is a straightforward interview question also. Okay, what is queueable and what is batch, and why these are synchronous and why it is asynchronous and all that. Okay. Now we will go with first asynchronous, which is batch, because other you guys have learned already. So batch class is used to, and this will also process millions of records in one transaction. Okay, so that is also a good thing. So bulk record updation you need or deletion you need, so you can do it through batch class. Okay, million of record you can process. Okay, and it will stay in the limits because double, it will increase the limits to double, so it will have good bandwidth. Okay, and going down, okay, when you have to use batch class. Okay, let's suppose you want to send email, okay, 90 days before contract expire. So you can schedule a batch and it will run the daily and check the contract ka expiration date, whether it is expired or not. Based on that, it will send an email. Okay. For all the contract which are ending, if there are some record need to be created, you can do that. Okay. So that is all you can do. Recalculating the sharings. Okay. It means sometimes, there are many sharing, unnecessary sharing is done. You want to correct it. So there would be huge number of records. So you can do that. Okay. So that is few examples of batch. Now, main thing is the batch is divided into three methods, like, okay, that is like mandatory method: start method, execute method, and finish method. Why these three methods are mandatory? That is also a question from interview side. And reason being, because there is an interface which get attached on top of the batch class. Let me show you. So this is a interface on the first line of the class, implement database.batchable. Okay, this is an interface. Because of this, the start method is mandatory, execute is mandatory, and finish is mandatory, which means you cannot delete any of these methods because these are part of your interface. Okay, there's no chance of deletion. Okay, so that is the key thing about this. And now let me tell you what's the use of start method. Start method is used to write, or you can say that used to get the data, okay, which means a query. Okay, so if you see, identify the list of data which need to be processed, which means you have to just write a query here. So for query to get the initial set of record, we will be using the start method. Okay, and it is automatically called. Okay, as soon as your batch class is called, your start method will automatically called. Okay, which will collect the record, okay, for the operation. Next is execute method. So whatever record is fetched by the start method, those will be further sent to execute method to do the execution. Okay. It says process subset of scoped record. So whatever record is fetched, it will start performing the operation on them. Okay, perform operation. Whatever operation you want to perform, like you want to do that DML in the sense insert, update, delete for those record. You want to, send those record to third party API, like to, any other API which you want to send, you can use that execute method. You want to perform some operation, let's suppose you want to remove or erase some field values, you can easily use execute method and update them, those records. Finish method is nothing but after all the record are processed from the execute method, automatically finish will call. Okay, and it will do some post operation. Post operation means, let's suppose you want to send confirmation email that execution for these record is done. So that is all about finish method. Any question, guys? Start for query, execute for logic, finish for doing the post operation. That's it. Start, execute, finish. So these are few example. Okay. Start method, then job got inserted. So it's a kind of a job which run. Okay. Batch class is nothing but a part of job which will run. Okay. And you can track the job basically. Okay. Whether it is processing or aborted or failed, success, whatever. Okay. You can track that. How can you track that? You have to go to your Salesforce. Okay. Let me log into Salesforce once. Okay. So how can you track these batch jobs when it is running? Okay. I will tell you guys how to run it, but yeah, let me tell you first how can you track it. In home, search for Apex jobs. Okay. In Apex jobs, you will be able to see the status of your job which is running here. Okay, what is the job status? Okay, here you can run track all the which Apex class is written. So here you will get the batch class name. Okay, status pending processing, you will get it here. How many records are processed? Okay, how many failed? Who submitted it? All that you can track here. Okay, so that is the place for tracking such batch jobs. Okay. Now this is a one example of batch class. Okay, so if you guys see batch class name, just normal. Okay, global class. Global means can be called from anywhere. Okay, and class name. Then this is the interface. It is mandatory, guys. Okay, implements database.batchable as objects. This is need to be written. Then next method is start method. You have to write it as it is. So this sentence you can copy paste from Google also. So you need not to worry. It's just that you have to write this query by your own. Okay. You have to write execute method by your own. You have to write the content of finish method by your own. It's just a journal effects. Okay. So here you guys will see a type of query. Select ID comma name from. So this query is in single quotes. Okay. This is called dynamic query, guys. Okay. And dynamic queries are executed with the help of database dot query. Okay, here get query locator is used, standard function. Okay, from database. So it will get the query data. Okay, and it will return whatever query data to execute method. So it will come here directly. As soon as the data is returned, it will come here. You can loop on it. You can update the name. Okay, and update the record. That's it. So just a small batch. Okay. So select ID comma name from account is means all the account it will pick. Okay. It is in string and then string will be passed here. It will get the record. It will loop it and it will update the name of the account. Okay. This is for each loop. Remember you guys learned for each loop. For every scope record, it will loop. Okay. And update the name it will keep rotating until it goes last. And after that, scope is updated with every name. And then you are updating that scope. Scope is nothing but again list of accounts. Okay. So that is about batch class. There is another interface. Okay. In batch class, allow callouts. Okay. With this, you can do a API callouts from batch. Okay. So this is also an interface. You can do callouts. In interview, they may ask you what are the interface supported in the batch class. So you guys can say batchable, callout, and third is stateful. This is also an interface, guys. Okay. If you see, previously this was there. Now database.stateful is also there. Stateful is nothing but it will, you create a variable and you can track its value throughout your component. Okay. If you see summary plus, summary 0, it will plus. So it will keep increasing the variable and you can use this variable to track your progress, like how many data are processed. So that is all about your stateful. How to execute the batch class. So this is the syntax, guys. I told you guys how to run it. So now you are on that stage. So you create the instance of the class. Remember, you have learned creating the instance of list, instance of S object, instance of even class also. Remember, you guys use you learn the two type of calling, static and non-static. So with the class name dot method name, it's a static. If the method is not static, you have to create an instance of the class like this, class name, method, then variable name, new help to create the instance, and then class name. And then database dot execute batch, and then whatever instance you have created, you just have to pass it. So this will call your batch class. Okay. And this you can use anywhere. Okay. Anywhere in the sense, let me tell you guys, you guys can go to developer console. If you want to write your batch class, you just have to go to file, new, apex class. Here you can say account batch, enter. Okay, it is like normal class which you have to create. File, new, apex class, then class name. And now you just have to convert this into batch, you just have to copy this piece of code. Okay. Okay, this piece of code. Implements. So this as soon as you implement this, okay, let me show you guys. Implement this, try to save it. See the next thing. Okay, you get the error because the method needs to be implemented. I told you guys because this is the interface, you need the methods to be implemented. Okay, start, execute, finish. So you guys have to copy these three methods also. So copy these three methods. Okay, paste it inside this. Okay, and use public. Because we are not going to use it for third party, so you can make it public and save it. Okay. As soon as you save it, your class is saved, and that is your batch. Now, if you want to call your class, okay, they have given you a small syntax. Just go for it. Okay, just keep this handy, or you can even learn it like a normal class name. Class ka instance you will. Okay, class is this. And then just pass this object here, execute. Your batch class will get executed. See, your batch class is executed. Now, in logs, you would be able to see, okay, batch. And if you want to see, track the progress also, you refresh this. Okay. I told you guys how to track the progress. Okay, if you see, batch added, it's completed, one batch process, my name, and then class name. So that's how you can track it. It's completed. Okay, if you see, logs are also generated. And now if you go to your data also, your data of the account would be updated. Okay, you go to accounts. I updated the name, right? If you see here, the badge job, the name came, badge job. So that is all about your batch class. Okay, if you see updated by batch, updated by batch. So if you go here, updated by batch, this is appended. Okay, so that is all about the batch class creation, execution. Okay, now comes the schedule also. Now let's understand. So this is one class. Okay, any doubt first so far? Okay, I'll go with another class, schedulable. I told you guys another class is schedulable, right? This one, schedule. Future method is nothing but a method. Okay, I'll tell you this also before going forward. Let's suppose you are in this. This is the class. Okay, so you want to create a method. Okay, this is asynchronous. Okay, public static. This is a syntax. Okay, public static and then method name. So future method is always a static and void. Okay, it will never return a value. It will get annotated. Okay, at the rate is nothing but it says it's annotated future. Okay, now it will be a background job. Okay, and you can do any operation here. Okay, here you can pass some string variable. Okay, string some record ID. Okay, and based on this record ID, you can query account. Okay, like this. Select ID, comma, name from account. Okay, where ID equals to record ID. Record ID, you can say, but here you have to write a name also. Okay, so that's how you can acc dot name equals to abc and then update. So that's way you can easily write a future method. Okay, so future method is just small method. Okay, you can write it from any asynchronous operation. I repeat, from like you can write in trigger. Okay, easily apex class. So this can be written in any asynchronous. Okay, if you want to do something asynchronously in your synchronous code, you can use a future method. As simple as that. Okay, that's very short, nothing more. Okay, list of S object is not supported. Remember. Okay, list of S object is not supported here. Like you cannot pass list of account here. It is not supported. Not supported. Because it can change. The data can change by anybody in the background. So it cannot process that. So that's why they are not processing it. So that is also a key thing. Always public static void, never accept the list of S object, and you can do a synchronous operation. These are the 3 points of future method. Okay. Next is schedule class. Okay, it is also same class, guys. Okay, it's just that it will get an interface called schedulable. That's it, nothing else. Okay, so to create such class, file, new, okay, account, batch, schedule. So schedule is, as the name says, schedule, you can schedule this particular batch class at any particular time. Let's suppose that every day 5 p.m. this class should run and it update all the accounts. Okay, that way. So that is called a schedulable. Okay, to schedule it, you have to use this one method, execute. Okay, that's it. You just copy this execute method here. This should be mandatory. This is like a static. You don't need to learn it. You can get it from your documentation. And then the batch class name. Okay. I mean batch class name, whichever class you want to schedule. Okay. So this is your batch class. Okay. So I have scheduled it. Okay. Now the use of it is you have wrote the class, you have put your whatever you want to schedule here. Okay, I want to schedule my batch class, so I put that code here, executing a batch class. Now this schedule class, you would be easily be able to schedule it from. Now I'll show you guys how to schedule such class. Okay, to schedule a batch class, I repeat, to schedule a batch class, you have to write a schedule class. Okay, in that schedule class, you have to write execute method and call your batch. Second step. Third step is you have to search your class here, like search Apex classes basically, not the class, search Apex class. And then there is a button called schedule Apex. You click on it. And here you can give the name, okay, account batch. So because I'm scheduling this class. So you can give here any name, account batch schedule. And then you search it. You search your class, whichever if you have created. So right now I can't see it, so I have to refresh. Okay, there may be chance because I have created it, but the page is not refreshed in the background. Okay. So now I will try to search it. Okay. It is taking a bit more time, guys. Okay. I have to see, make sure that you create that in proper org. Okay. And this is the class. Okay. I'll do one more time refresh. Just make sure you, okay, if you see here, I've not used the interface, implement interface on the top header. That is the reason. Okay. So you have to make sure you use your interface, which is this. Without this, nothing will work. Okay. This is the most important thing. It will not inherit the property of schedulable. Okay. Now I have put the interface. Now I can go back. Now maybe I will refresh. Okay. Without refreshing, I got it. Okay. And you can give here any name. And what days you want to schedule it. You can schedule it what time, when you want to start, when you want to end. So that way you can schedule your batch class. Okay. So batch class, you can schedule it first thing and it will run at that specific time. So that is how you can run your batch. Second is you go to anonymous window and you put the code here, you execute it, it will execute right away. Okay. So there's these two ways you can do it. Even you can do it from Apex class also. Okay, you can write your syntax here. That one batch class calling syntax. Okay, that way also you can call your batch class. Okay, you can do it in through trigger also. So you should be just knowing these things. Okay, so that is all about schedule class. Okay, any question, guys? Schedule future. Sure. Last is your queueable. Okay. When it comes to queueable, let me tell you a few points. So it is an advanced form of future method. Okay, I told you guys future method, you cannot accept the list of S object, but in queueable you can accept it. Okay, you cannot call future method from a future. Okay, but you can queue the jobs. Okay, one after the another. Okay, you can do that. So that is a use of it. You will get a job ID. In your future method, there is no job ID. Here you can get a job ID to track the progress. Okay, you can do the chaining of job. You can run the job one after the other. So that is an extra features given by Queueable. Okay. And how to do it? If you remember, same class name, just implement this interface. Queueable. Okay. So let's create a class and then just add it. Okay. Queueable class. The proper name is important. Queueable class. Okay, this is queueable class, but I told you guys until unless you implement that interface, your class will not be queueable. So you have to use this implement. Okay. Now there's a method as I told you guys, this one, put that like similarly schedule class was there. There was also execute method. Here schedule context was there. Here you have the queueable context and right here the code, whatever you want to do. Okay. So let's suppose this is an example. You want to update the accounts. Okay. Similar to batch class. Okay. Similar to batch class. You can call it through trigger also. In this, you can just change the jobs. That is only the use. Okay. You can track it. That's it. nothing else. Okay, you can call this, and to call this, I'll tell you guys, this is the syntax. Okay, this is the one-liner syntax which you guys have to use. Okay, and you can use it at any point. Okay, any place. Okay, this is a constructor. So constructor is nothing but the name of the class is same as the method name. Okay, so let me save it first. Okay, and to call it, I told you guys use this syntax. Okay, you guys can get it at any place on the Google. This one, paste it in anonymous window. Okay, and in place of class name, just put your here this name. Okay, system dot enqueue job new, and then the instance of your class, and whatever data you want to pass, you can pass here. That's it. So that data will come here in the class execute method. It will assign to this, then execute method will call. You can update this and update this. Simple, straightforward, no complexities. Okay, first your constructor will be called, because as soon as your class is called, constructor called. Then your execute method will be called. In execute method, whatever your constructor has assigned list, it will execute that and it will update that directly. That's it. Okay, nothing special. So going back to article, okay, this is a test class. Okay, we will talk about it probably tomorrow. Okay, test classes. Okay, so this is again, one more, example. You can chain a job. Okay, in execute method, you are calling your one more second queueable. Okay, so that's all. Nothing more extra on that. Okay, so you want to run, a logics one after the other, you can do that easy. So that is all about queueable, schedulable, and all that. Okay. Tomorrow let's go with Apex class, last thing, and then we will start LWC. Okay.